Hello friends, welcome again. Today we'll talk about words in connected speech. Connected speech means words in company. It is continuous sequence of sounds that form utterances or conversation in speech. They form phrases, clauses and sentences. Analysis of connected speech shows sounds change affecting linguistic units such as phrases, words, morphemes, syllables, phonemes, or phones. All words are not stressed in a sentence. For example, in the sentence, my friend is a doctor, only words friend and doctor are stressed. Rest of the words are not stressed. In the connected speech, we have to understand two things called elision and assimilation. Let us first of all try to understand elision. What is elision? Elision is the process where a sound is not clearly articulated in certain contexts. It is a process in connected speech by which a sound is left out in order to make the articulation easier. Elision is extremely common in spoken English. One familiar case is the contracted form of auxiliary verbs. In the first case, let us say use of contracted forms. For example, I have gone mad. The sentence I have gone mad is pronounced as I've gone mad, or I'll pass the test is pronounced as I'll pass the test. I'll pass the test. In I have gone mad, the auxiliary verb have is unstressed because it's a function word. Unstressed parts of the spoken message tend to be reduced or deleted altogether. There are certain common features relating to elision in English. For example, elision of t and d when they appear after one another. For example, we went the next day is pronounced as we went the next day. We went the next day. We went the next day. When we reached Pali, we stopped to eat is pronounced as when we reach Pali, we stop to eat. We stop to eat. He brought a polished truck. He brought a polished truck. A can disappear in unstressed syllables. For example, I love you forever. I love you forever. I love you forever. Now, in the second example, for example, it is a question of collective responsibility. It is a question of collective responsibility. Rather saying it is, we say it's a question of collective responsibility. It's a question of collective responsibility. We shall call the police. We shall call the police. We shall call the police. We can also disappear before consonants. For example, I was born on 5th of March. I was born on 5th of March. I was born on 5th of March. It's a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. That is the least of my worries. That is the least of my worries. These are some of the examples. I'll read out the examples again. I was born on 5th of March. It's a complete waste of time. That is the least of my worries. That is the least of my worries. So this is how we do. Unstressed vowels are weak and reduced in English. They are often left out in the word where the unstressed and e follow the stressed syllable. The stressed vowel tend to be left out. For example, interesting becomes interesting, medicine becomes medicine, several becomes several, and different becomes different. When t and d are in the middle of the cluster of three consonants, they are normally lost. In the word that end in n, d, nd, and d is frequently omitted. For example, windmill becomes windmill becomes windmill. Restless becomes restless. Exactly becomes exactly. And hand becomes hand. Loss of plosives in a cluster of three consonants is also there. When a plosive in the middle of the cluster of three consonants formed by two words is normally lost. For example, first three becomes first three, and band for life becomes band for life. There is another phenomenon called assimilation. Assimilation refers to the change of one sound into another sound because of the influence of the neighboring sound. It is the alteration of a speech sound to make it more similar to the neighboring sound. A phrase like 10 bikes in colloquial speech would be pronounced as 10 bikes and not as 10 bikes. In this case, the assimilation has been partial. The alveolar consonant becomes by adopting the bilabiality of b. But it does not adopt its plosiveness. In another phrase like that place, pronounced as that place, here t becomes identical with p. In this case, the assimilation is total. The consonant changes to or depending on the consonant that follow. For example, one beer becomes one beer, one beer becomes one beer, one cup becomes one cup, one cup becomes one cup, and so on. So these are some of the examples of assimilation. We have to understand that elision and assimilation are the processes in which certain sounds are deleted, and in certain cases certain sounds tend to accept the features of the neighboring sound. I hope you have understood the process of elision and assimilation. Thank you.